Okay, this is a really quick section of my video just to because I have to quickly turn around, repack and head to the UK. I'm back from Morocco. I didn't take everything that I showed you in my last video, so I just wanted to take you through what changed. So I did take my sketchbook. I'm going to be taking this to the UK. I have to stay in a hotel overnight tonight for an early journey tomorrow, so I will try and record that and show you what's in there. I didn't end up using any of my watercolor postcard pages. I think I took 6 with me, and I just forgot to take them out of my bag. I had this with me all the time and I forgot to take this out, so I ended up not making any postcards to send home. You have to excuse my throat, it's a bit croaky. This was super handy. You might hear my partner in the background, he's doing a Dutch lesson, so I'm trying to do it in a room where you won't hear him so well. This was a really handy container of water. Yeah, I recommend getting, I mean, it's an expensive way to do it. If you do have sushi or Chinese, something where they provide you with like a little pot of soy sauce, this is a super handy way to carry a little bit of water. I swapped out in the end my etcher and I took this. This is the first iteration of my Rowan tool roll pattern, which you can, if you want to make your own, you can buy it from my personal website. I'll leave it in the description below. But this is the first version that I made, so it does differ slightly from the original, well, from the one that you see every time now. So my color pencils, I have a selection, as I showed you previously, of my brush pens, water soluble brush pens. I've got my, what do we call these things, little water brushes, so the small one, and then that's the small one, sorry, and this is the chunky flat white one. In here I have the Posca. It never ran out, it just kept going. I don't know what happened, because before I went it was like drying up, and then I got there and it was like, oh yeah, we're gonna be juicy and work. So it came back, as did the majority of my other Poscas. As you can see, I've got I think this was the aqua blue, this is the light blue, and this is like bright yellow or something. The coral I used up, I smushed it all over pages because it was leaking. This one leaks too, but that's by the way. And then in here, you can see the zipper is different from this one. I constructed it in a different manner. We have my, come on Evie, you can do it. One-handed, my lieu colors. Those were great. A pencil sharpener, which is what just reminded me to show you this, because I'm going to leave this behind and take a different one with me. My little gouache kit, I used this plenty. I think that's it. So that's what I kept in here. I did get my bag weighed. Someone commented on my last video and said they never get their bags checked. I do, that's why I freak out and panic. My bags, yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe I look, I don't know, like I'm trying to swindle EasyJet. This was my Stonehenge, didn't use it. So it's good to note for future reference. I will just take a sketchbook. I won't worry about the smaller pieces. And then I showed you this Pegano case. I did take this one because I wanted it. Someone else commented and said, you know, oh, you don't need all the things. I know I don't need all the things. What I do need is to have the supplies that I would like to use. And by taking this, it meant I didn't have to take this out every time with me. I could just take out what I wanted to. So if I was going to be going on a trip, we did several excursions, I could just select what I wanted to take, like a limited palette. I could put it in here and I was away. And that worked really well for me. White pencil, paintbrush. This is my Making Colours thing palette. Oh, I did that really nicely with one hand, didn't I? Oh, that's a tiny little brush. It's a makeup brush, but I thought it would be handy for like dusting away pencil. A little bit of tape, which I took with me and I was going to leave behind, but I didn't end up using much of it. I did use this in a clip. So basically I'm really happy with what I took. I just shouldn't have taken these because I didn't end up using them. I think I'd still take this in future. If I was going to repeat it, I'd still probably take this size. But I think this was just a bit silly because it's so small. I just wanted it for planes, but I ended up squished next to a human that was not very joyful to sit with. So yeah, this was successful. And I think in future, I just need to remember that it's really handy to have something like this because I can fit so much in it. My tool roll or pen roll, whatever you want to call it. It was just really helpful to have this because then I could just pick out what I wanted each morning. If we were going down to breakfast or up to breakfast, I could take what I wanted, then go back to the room and swap stuff out. It was just really handy to have a good selection of things wrapped up in here. So yeah, that's my quick wrap up of how I got on. I will, when I get to the hotel later at the airport, I will show you what's in here and what I made and my plans moving forward for the rest of January, because I haven't told you that yet. So yeah, I'll see you in a couple of hours. Good morning. I was gonna do this last night when I arrived at the hotel, but I ran out of time. It's about 6 in the morning now and I have to get going in a little bit so I can get some breakfast before my journey. But I wanted to show you just a quick change of kit because I am traveling to the UK and I'll be there for I think almost 2 weeks now. Some of you will remember that my niece was in an accident last year. The person who almost killed her has claimed non-guiltiness, so we are going to court. That's why I'm going to be there. So this is going to be like my de-stress kit. So we have exactly the same as what I packed for Morocco. And then I've thrown in an eraser. My Gouache, I ended up not taking it with me because I couldn't find my ink for Morocco. So I found it out yesterday quickly and I refilled it. And then a 001 because I kind of missed a fine liner. I've also added to my selection of Tombow brush pens. There's a reason why, but it's mostly greens and a couple of brown, well, I think that's burnt sienna right here, and then a couple of beigey neutral kind of tones. So those are coming with. Then we have, this is my kit of NC ones. You can see I've got space for 2 more, but I haven't bought any art supplies for a while now. Then we also have, this is my red orange unison box, but it actually has one person who will recognize these. These are the Broken Mungio water soluble oil pastels from Angela Marie. Her channel's the Hodgepodge Artist if you haven't checked it out already. But she very kindly sent me a great gift of art supplies that she thought I might like that she wasn't using. I'm still taking the sketchbook because I haven't talked to you about my January art plans. I haven't actually recapped my November art. No, my November or my December art, I don't recall. But my plan is to just finish this sketchbook using the Morocco photos from my Morocco trip and have an actual full, kind of like a travel sketchbook of just Morocco. So that's my plan for this month. I'll be working with the same materials that I took with me, a couple of additionals. And those are just in case I want to do anything different really. But yeah, that's my kit. I have to go now because I have to get some breakfast before I start my journey again. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this and I'll see you again soon. If I get time when I get to my dad's, I'll do a flip through of what I've done. It was my intention to do it last night, but I was so tired and I don't have time now. But cool, see you soon. Okie dokie, this is a quick final clip for the video. So this is my sketchbook that I took to Morocco. I'm now back in the UK and I thought I would just flip through to show you what I did while in Morocco. I won't show you the entire thing, like the pre-prep, because that's you're already aware of all of that. I prepped some pages. I'm not sure I've got that footage with me because I might have put it on my big computer before I left. But I prepped some pages. I used acrylic gouache and regular acrylic. And then it meant that I just had some backgrounds available while I was away if I wanted to not work on a blank page. So this was one of those, and this was from the roof of the Riad where we were staying, and then I just decided I didn't like it, so I didn't continue. But this was acrylic gouache because I can tell from the colours. This is the misty blue, shell pink, and this is the coral red, and then this would have been the mustard. This was, I was trying to draw it and then something happened. I don't remember what went wrong, so I just worked on the shadows that were being cast on it. Again, not cool. This was a nook in the Riad. We were looking this way, sat here for dinner. Again, I lost my mojo. This was also from the Riad. This was upstairs. No, it wasn't. This is where we would sit and have breakfast. And we had sat here to have lunch. And I was having great fun. I think this took me a couple of hours. I really enjoyed myself. I just went at it nice and steady and slow. And yeah, I really like this drawing. Then this was a lady walking down one of the paths towards Ben Youssef School. Again, a prepped page. This was with acrylic because that's the ultramarine. And this was the Naples yellow red, I think. I did this drawing of David sitting at the Grand Bazaar Hotel one afternoon, which is just off the main square. I'm not going to try and pronounce it because I'll get it wrong. Then this was a continuous line tree at the top of the Riad where we would sit. David was finishing his coffee, so I just did a continuous line, but haven't done anything more with it. This was from Essaouira. So we had visited Essaouira for the day, and there was this big kind of like hole in the wall of the fort looking out. I just drew it, had a nice time. The background was, so here, background, and then everything else was gouache and pencil on top. This was, I think this was also a prepped page. Again, it's the Riad. I love this. Another prepped page. This was Marrakesh New Town. It was actually a photo as we were passing through that I took and then I drew. There were 2 cats on a bicycle, a motorcycle actually, where David and I were looking at some lamps. And then this is Essaouira again, with a prepped page background here. And this is what David, he told me I could share it with you, because so when I did the drawing of him, oh, I skipped a page. I did this drawing of him. He was like, oh, I'll do a drawing of you. So he did that. And this page I skipped, I didn't realize. But this I had done upstairs from the little top balcony after breakfast. And then I'd accidentally caused like a print on the other side. So I just embellished it a little bit. A bit rubbish, but there you go. David loves his drawing. I think it's cool. We have very different styles. So this I posted on Instagram. I was drawn to this because of the chair. And I'm going to have another go at it because it's not how I want it to be, but that's fine. That's what art is about. We went on a Three Valleys tour excursion. We had a driver take us there and we got to sit down by the river in the mountains and have lunch. And I just quickly I drew this and took some notes and some photos to come back to later. It was a really peaceful lunch. Prep page unfinished. This I didn't want to bring, sorry, you're gonna hear the trains. We get a lot of them back at my dad's. I sometimes don't even notice them, so there might have been a few already and it's only now I'm noticing them. This was my Posca. I had 2 Posca pens that just were leaking everywhere. The coral and the, I think it was aqua green or aqua blue. So I put them, smushed them, and they exist a lot throughout this book as smushed pages. Pan pastels I did very quickly. There was like one day from when I got back from Morocco into the Netherlands and then turned around again. This is a drawing of David by the pool. He thinks it's quite cool. I think it's cool. I wasn't sure how he'd feel about it, but he was sitting there sunbathing with his swimmers on. And this is the background. And I did a time drawing because I wanted to limit my color, my materials, and also make me work fast. And I think that's worked really well on capturing him. Prep page. That might be, I think there's splodges. So this was another one where I started to use the orange and it's messed up, it splodged, and I was getting really frustrated. So then I just started smushing it on the page and then got the other Poscas and smushed those and just was really, really frustrated that this orange pen just kept leaking whenever I used it. But in the end, I got all of the ones that are leaky and I just smushed them onto pages to come back and use at a later point. One of them I did kind of like a mono printing. So I would do on one side and then close the page to get like a print effect. So these are the orange buckets that they put the plants in. So I do need to add the plants in, but I quite liked the simplicity. I actually have to go. I'm picking my niece up from school to celebrate today. And this was another, so this, you can see the paint has been spludged, and then I kind of created that mono print effect. So I'd put the color here and then press the page, put the color here and then press the page. And I quite like how that has worked out. Also with the plant at the back, the leafage. And I think there's just a couple more like that. I've not done anything with that yet. Oh, there was another one of David. Oh, that's when he was facing the other direction. He put his shirt on by the pool, and again it was 3 materials, 3 minutes, very, very quickly. That's one of the last days there. Again, you can see the orange Posca just smushed on a page. I think that's it. Yeah, another train coming. So that's it. But my plan for the rest of the month, as I said in a previous clip, is to just continue filling up the sketchbook with Morocco drawings, and I'll be back to show you them at the end of the month. I literally just paused so you wouldn't hear the train. Yeah, I'll be back at the end of the month to show you a recap. I hope you enjoyed that video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.